Hello adventurers again, and welcome back to another episode of Bless Unleashed walkthroughs. I'm your boy No Deflection, and today we will be walking through Hall of Eclipse. Hall of the Eclipse, Halls of the Eclipse, either way, the Eclipse. So this is going to be a good fun one for those of you who have had trouble with the first boss, and you know the specifics with the second and third boss. So let's just jump right into it. So when you first start off here, you're going to run into a couple of small mobs. Obviously, my go-to phrase for this is DPS them down. So just DPS them down. Nothing crazy here. No priests that are going to heal you right now or anything like that. Just take all these guys out, show them what's up. Once these guys are out of the way, you're going to have a little fun run mechanic here. As you can see here, there's a little wheel that we can activate to show a little video, which you'll see. So the other Berserker is going to actually activate it. So as you can see, it opens the gate back there. Your objective now is to run through this little area, avoid the bubbles that drop down from them knocking you back and getting to the other side. The gate will eventually fall down, and as you'll see in the video here, we get through it, and one of our friends actually, not one of our friends actually, a random that we're running with gets locked into the gate. We had a couple good laughs about this because he originally couldn't figure out what to do, so it was all in good fun. But it's not going to hurt you or do anything like that. Just if you do happen to get stuck behind the gate, just run back, activate it again, and try to run through. It's not a hard thing to pass through. I think if you have a full sprint available to you, anybody can make it through it. So once you all eventually make it through the gate, and we had one who struggled behind, we had a straggler for a little while. He eventually figured it out and got through the gate. You're going to go up here and you're going to see more mobs. Just DPS them down like normal. Just be aware that the larger guys, the Black Sun Warriors, basically, they have a knock-up attack that will knock you up, and if you get 3 of them around you doing this, you'll die very fast. Just be wary of that. You'll see right here, I'm going to run up and grab these 3 guys here. And it's not really these 3 guys you need to worry about, it's the 3 guys past them in that little area behind them that do the knock-up. So you have one of these guys here on the left who's trying to do the knock-up. They're not as strong. These guys here in this little area, these guys are the ones you need to worry about. You'll see they do quite a good amount of damage on you, especially if they're all hitting you at once. They can do their knockups and they just keep banging on you, so just be wary of that. Alright, now that these guys are out of the way, you're going to run in here and you're going to grab one of these 2 colors. As you can see, the 2 Berserkers are grabbing the colors right now. Basically what happens is when you grab these, they create a whirlwind tornado when they come together, as you can see there. This is kind of a precursor to the boss fight that is coming up with the water spirit. So you need to use this to your advantage when you're facing the water spirit. We'll get more into that once we get into the actual boss fight itself. So once you run through here, you're going to run into a bunch of these little toadstools. You can actually kill them if you really wanted to. Why you would, I have no idea. You can also use them to get your rage back. You can use them to get mana crystals, whatever you want to do. Just simply run past them. They're not hard to avoid. So we've got the Ancient Water Spirit as our first boss. Now I know this, in most cases, is one of the hardest bosses to fight against just because of the mechanics. So basically, the biggest thing with the Water Spirit, I'll give you a couple of smaller attacks first, and we'll talk about the bigger one. We're actually going to DPS through this too fast, and you'll see near the end of this fight, I actually stop attacking altogether just because I want to see him do his tornadoes. So basically, his smaller attacks you have, he'll do, he's basically like Bashal. He'll throw out some water, he'll hit you here and there. He does these balls that drop from the sky, as you can see now. And he'll also do larger blue bubbles, or blue balls, as we love to call it, that come out from him. If these blue balls will heal you if you touch them. That's great. If they touch you, though, it spawns red balls that come out from him, as you'll see. So I touched mine and see how they come out as the red ones. Those red ones can kill you really fast if you're not careful. I'm using a heal ring with Earthbreaker, so obviously I'm healing myself for a crazy amount of healing right now. If you don't have a heal ring, you might want to avoid those if you don't need the healing. You can always grab that bubble and run away from the red balls, but you know, if you're not letting your teammates know, you can actually kill them as well. So just be wary of that. Now his biggest attack is going to be his waterfall of wall. His wall of waterfalls? His wall of waterfalls. Basically what he'll do is at the one end of the arena, he'll send waterfalls down the whole battle area, and you can't really avoid them. So what you want to do is if you see those 2 markers, the red and blue, we put them up. That's where we put our tornadoes. So what's going to happen is 2 people are going to get insignias above their head. See, I've got one on my head, and then Volkus has one on his head. You want to bring those together. I mean, we like to use these 2 locations, the red and the blue, bring them together and pop them there. He's running away from me for some reason. But when you pop them together, they create these tornadoes, as you'll see. So this tornado actually stops the wall of waterfalls in that specific location. So what you do is once that wall of waterfall hits that spot, you can run through that, and it leaves you a little gap in between. So it basically offsets that specific section of the waterfalls, allowing you to sneak through the wall. It can be very difficult. This is very hard to coordinate with a pug. That's why we kind of DPS through it. If you don't get these symbols above your head with your team, and you have some guys in there who don't know what they're doing, that's an insta wipe. Mages used to be able to blink through this. You also used to be able to hug the walls and avoid the tornadoes altogether. As far as I know, that's been patched. Just be wary of that. You want to, when you get insignias above your head, take them to a location, bring them together, and make a tornado. Make sure when you're making multiples, you might need to do 3 of these in the end, or 4 even, before it goes berserk. You want them to be spread out from each other enough so they're not too close to each other. This gives you time to run in between the gaps when available. If you put them too close, it's not going to help you at all. So that's why we put the markers up, 1 at each side of this white circle, assuming that we were going to be able to do 2 of them. Obviously, enough we DPS'd way too fast for that, so I'm sorry for that, guys. I can't really show you that part of it. Once you beat them, you're going to want to go up and grab and aggro these guys down from the next little arena. You don't want to fight these guys with the boss. You want to avoid that. So just go up and aggro them, bring them down here, and beat them up. Once we kill these guys, we'll jump into the next boss fight. So what you have up here is you have a warrior and a shaman, basically. You have Catharsis and Thamasu. Thamasu is the warrior. Catharsis is the shaman, basically. Now, a good way to approach this next boss is to have one ranger or melee take on the warrior and keep aggro for the warrior off everyone else. Everyone else, you should be DPSing the shaman. Now, note that if the warrior gets down past 75%, they do a DPS check in the middle, which then not only does it create fire around you, but then you have to fight both of them in a small circle in the center. So your objective is to keep aggro on the shaman as much as possible. Have 4 people attacking the shaman. Kill her as fast, kill her as fast as possible, while 1 person aggroes the warrior. Just remember, when you're aggroing that warrior, you don't want him to go down below 75%. You want to keep him above if possible. Right here, I'm trying to type to him saying, hey, don't kill him too quickly. One of the satyrs took him on, and I didn't know if he knew what he was doing or not. Luckily, he wasn't doing enough damage. At some points in this fight, the shaman will call for the warrior to do that attack you see there. He runs across the field, and he hits you with it. It can do some really good damage, so just be wary of that. You want to avoid that if you can. It's not hard to avoid. When he calls for the warrior, sometimes he doesn't even run near the shaman. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just be wary when he calls for him, just to see where the guy's running to, where the warrior's running to. So once the shaman's down, we'll jump into the second part of the fight. All right, now that Karthus is out of the way, you're going to see Thamasu do a little... he'll do a little animation where he's going to put fire all around the arena, as you can tell. And he's going to do the same thing. He's going to run back and forth in between both sides periodically. Just avoid that attack if you can. I'm going to try to get some stuff here. As you can see, I got hit by that. He can do quite a bit of damage by doing that run. He'll do 2 of them, and then he'll come back into the little non-fire area and keep attacking you. Your objective here is just to DPS him down. That's all there is to it. Avoid his run-through attack, and that's basically it. That's Thamasu and Catharsis. Alright, now that Thamasu's dead, we can move on to the last and final boss. Between these 2, there's no mobs whatsoever. So just run up here to the blue light. Just a heads up, there is a treasure chest underneath that stair. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Go there, you might get some rust or some gold pieces. You might get a potion or 2. So the last boss we have is my favorite as far as his name is concerned, the Black Sun. I love that name for this boss. So basically, he's just a giant slug. Your objective here is just beat on him as much as possible. For Berserkers, you're going to love this. You'll get 3 ticks out of your Earthbreaker on him, which is fantastic. His attacks to worry about are going to be, he drops poison from the sky, which can do quite a bit of damage. He's got a tail swipe, which you just saw. And then he's got a tail slam attack that he does. He repeats this attack 3 times in a row. I've seen that tail slam kill people very fast. Just be aware when he's doing it. Just try to avoid it if you can. Here's the poison that he drops. Not from the sky, that's just poison he just puts on the ground. He normally does his tail smashing attack when he gets upset. You know, he gets upset. You're beating on him. He's gonna get upset. He's gonna do his tail slap. So there's 2 tail slaps right there. So you want to avoid the 3 tail slap. Once you get him down to a certain percentage, he'll pop a little mob. This mob, when it pops, will show a little video like you see here. And what you want to do is you want to DPS this mob before the Black Sun eats it. If the Black Sun eats the mob, he will regain HP. Every time he does this, which will be 3 times, you want to DPS this mob down. Now note, if you were running with a high level crew, you don't even need to worry about these mobs. You could just keep DPSing the Black Sun and you'll be fine. We've done it before where we've actually DPS'd him down all the way to 1%. Oddly enough, the last mob, even if you get the Black Sun down to 1%, you can't kill him until the 3rd mob comes. I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't know if it's a trial or what, but we've done it before. So during this fight, you're going to see we're going to kill all 3 mobs. I believe at least 2 of them, if not the 3rd one as well. So there's the poison that falls from the ceiling. You want to avoid that. Here's the 2nd mob that he's pulling in. So we're all going to run over there and try to DPS this mob down. And then once the 2nd one's down, we're going to just go right for him and just keep beating on him. One last thing I wanted to mention with this boss is he does do a charge attack, which he does randomly. He'll do it 3 times in a row, and he'll go back and forth. He doesn't pick anyone in particular. Just be wary of that. He could do some good damage on you if you get stuck up against the wall. And as we're finishing this dungeon out, I just want to do a little shout out for my guildies. You got Destroyer, one of the best Zerkers I've ever seen, as well as Vocals, hands down one of the best Rangers that I've ever played with. If you guys want any videos in the future, you want to see some content that you want catered specifically for you, such as like a fail stack video or anything like that, don't hesitate to leave some comments in the videos. As always, if this video helped you out, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see those new videos coming out. And if you guys hit me up on Twitch, by all means, chat me up. I'm No Deflection on the Twitch channel. I'm usually gaming on Saturdays and Sundays. Once again, guys, I appreciate everything. You all have a good night. Thank you.